have a prayer that has come down from the mountain about following our fish, following our salmon, and that the salmon are the miracle fish of this state. They're the ones who continue to follow the ways that Creator put down for us. We have forgotten that. But the fish still do that. They still try to do that. And they do it, and we know this about salmon, is that they only do it one time. This is why we know that Creator teaches them. Creator tells them, because they don't have any role models to follow. When the fish swim up the rivers and they spawn, they all die before the eggs are hatched. And when the eggs are hatched, there are no adult salmon in the river to teach them what to do, how to do anything, what to eat. But they figure it out. But all of a sudden they figure out that they have to go downstream. No other fish is going downstream. The trout's not going, the suckerfish not going, nobody's going. The frogs are staying, you know. But the little baby salmon, they start heading downstream. And from our mountain, you know, Mount Shasta, they have a long way to go downstream. And they must do that because Creator tells them it's time to go downstream, because nobody's taking them by their fin and saying, hey, come on, you know, come with us. And so they start going downstream. And as they go downstream, more and more rivers dump into the same waterway. And eventually they get to the Sacramento River. And the McCloud River's water is getting thinner and thinner as all of the rivers dump into the Sacramento River. And keep going down the river. And they come by the American River and the Feather River and all of them that come in until they get down to the Delta. And when they get to the Delta, they realize that they are freshwater fish. You know, they're from the McCloud River. And there is salt water there. And so they don't come together and say, you know, I think we made a mistake. Better head back upstream. I think that trout was right. They don't. They stay there for some reason, and I think it's because Creator assures them it's going to be okay. And they stay there, and they keep swimming there until they tolerate the salt water. They change, and it's in that estuary, this one right here. They change. And in the estuary, they become the saltwater fish that they need to be, and they swim out into the ocean, and they spend anywhere from 4 to 8 years in the ocean. Then all of a sudden in the ocean, you know, and they all swim together, right? They don't say, we're the McCloud River fish. We got to swim in our own school right here. We're not swimming with those Feather River fish. Those are my dues. Like, no. But they all swim together. And they're the giving fish because they're so needed in the ocean that the whales need them, the killer whales need them, all of the fish need them. And they are so giving that they feed everything in the ocean. And then something tells them, gonna have to go upstream. It's like, no, I really like this ocean. It's really big. It's nice out here, lots of water. But they all come together, all the McCloud River fish, they find each other, they come back, and they find the exact same estuary. If they're Trinity River fish, they go to the Trinity estuary and go up the river. So all of the McCloud River fish come into the delta here in San Francisco. And when they come into the delta, they have to realize that they're saltwater fish now. They're adult saltwater fish. They're pretty big, you know. And they're attempting to go up a freshwater river. And they don't say, you know what, we're too old to change. We're just too old to change and we're going to stay in the ocean now. This is what we got to do. They stay there. And in fact, when they change, the structure of their jaw actually changes. And the structure of their jaw changes for a purpose that is necessary upriver. And so as they change and they become freshwater fish again, they start upstream. They start going up the river. All together, they're going up the river, you know, and it's like 150 miles to Sacramento up the river. And when they get there, they don't say, you know what, I think we're just going to spawn here. It's been 100 miles. Swimming for 100 miles is a long way, and I'm tired. The ones who are going to be right there in Sacramento on the American River, they break off and they go up the American River. But the other ones, they can't say, well, why don't we just go up the American River? We'll just go up there too. You know, it's right here, it's short. They have plenty of spawning ground up there. But they don't. They have to go on up the Sacramento River. And so then along comes the Feather River. And again, they can't say, you know, it's been a long swim, I'm really tired. Those guys look like they have plenty of room up there, that we should just go up the Feather River and spawn. But they don't. Something inside them, something tells them. They've never done this before, but they're doing it now. And so the Creator, in our minds, is the one who is bringing them back to where they belong, where they came from. So they continue on. They continue on up. And the McCloud River fish are the highest ones on this runway. They have to go all the way to Mount Shasta. And they have to climb that mountain. It's not a valley river, right? It comes off of this mountain. They're going to climb up like 6,000 feet to spawn. And they continue to go back up to that river, and they spawn there, and they protect the eggs for as long as they can, and then they all die. Then it starts all over again. And for us, that means that this is the species, this is the animal, this is the director for us who have lost our way, who have been subjected to all of these changes that have disrupted our connection to Mother Earth, to the trees, to our food sources, that we should come back together and follow this again. And so we have this prayer of the run for salmon, and it's number 4 because there's supposed to be 4 runs of salmon. And the more people do for salmon, the more depleted they become. And so it's like, let's just step back, let the salmon do what the salmon are supposed to, get the people out of the way, open up the waterway so that they can go up there and do what they're supposed to do, and get rid of these hatcheries. You know, and so we have flyers for the upcoming Run for Salmon, which will begin in September of this year, is because that is when the winter run salmon would be coming up to spawn. And right now, our winter run salmon from the McCloud River, because there's no more there since the Shasta Dam, just like there's no more Indians on the McCloud River since the Shasta Dam, we're in the same position. Whatever happens to the salmon happens to us.